Not on camera, but I have a question for everybody regarding working with TD Jakes. Tell us about that experience, and did it play a role in you taking the role?
I worked with TD Jakes several years ago. I worked with him personally with my spirit. And I was coming off of something that I absolutely needed help with, and it was called life.
Right.
And so he was able to sit down with me and really just so into me. And it was such a blessing because I was so confused in my life. And therefore, I was at a place of just being open enough to listen. And he took time to sit down with me and just give me the word and the words that were needed to penetrate, to allow me to start thinking differently. So cut to almost 8 years ago now, 9 years ago, I got baptized. And it was one of the best decisions that I ever made. He was very instrumental in that. His son-in-law, Pastor Touré Roberts, and his daughter, Sarah Jakes, is my pastors in LA. And so it's a family thing now. So to be able to really work in a faith-driven movie and really mean it for me, to align myself with how my spirit is now, to be able to be proud to be able to work with TD Jakes makes me feel like a sense of accomplishment. And for me, it was like about time.
That's beautiful. Eric, Monique?
Sure.
Yeah. I've never worked with TD Jakes before, and this is something that Lisa Ray touched on a previous interview. I feel I've kind of shied away from doing faith-based projects because there might be a tendency to be very heavy-handed on a message that this particular faith is the roadmap to get your moral compass on point. And so I went into the project before reading the script with that preconceived kind of prejudice, but once reading the script, and I didn't have a lot of interaction with Bishop Jakes, but there was a brief phone conference where I got a chance to talk to him briefly, really got inside the character, really got inside the message of the film. And, you know, all of those preconceived ideas I had about, you know, faith-based movies and wanting to do a film like this were immediately not an issue, because this is a movie about being very cautious of being intoxicated by the excesses of life. But the message of the movie that I find is more about gratitude. It's more about, look, if you had aligned your spirit with gratitude, if you had woken up in the morning and realized what you have in your life, you would not have been so susceptible to these off-ramps of, you know, like the road to Damascus. There's well, shoot, don't get me trying to remember quotes. But anyway, you mess up. You mess up when you think you're doing good. And, you know, this was just an underscore of one of those life lessons that I try to instill in my children. I try to instill in people who come to me for advice. It's like, look, if you just wake up in the morning and you wake up with your gratitude aligned with your physical, your spiritual, and your mental, then you have an armor around you. And I think that was the main message that I got out of the movie.
Wow, that was really beautiful, truly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think for me, Bishop Jakes, I discovered Bishop when I was in college, and it was at a time where I was really just questioning where I was spiritually. I did grow up in the church, but I also found myself wanting more and feeling like that there was something more expansive. And he like single-handedly kind of brought me back through his word. But I actually have always wanted to be in one of his films. I remember watching Woman Thou Art Loose with Kimberly Elise and Jumping the Broom. And when I found out later that he was behind those films, I knew that one day I would like to be aligned to getting that opportunity, because he just does it so well. And so for me, this was a dream come true to have this opportunity. And I'm so grateful for Derek Williams, who's one of our executive producers, for calling me and bringing me in on this. Because I think that Bishop has really shown us that the faith world can extend so much more than a pulpit. It's so much more than words in a book. It really is how you live, and it's the choices that we make constantly. And knowing that, you know, his hand is on this, I just think that it just kind of has a built-in anointing, and I'm just really grateful to have been a part of it.
This is definitely my first time working with Bishop, and so I can't really express to anything before, but definitely what brought me to this project was that there was definitely a message. We don't get too much faith-based stuff up here aside from Christmas based movies, and that's kind of the same message year after year after year. So coming across this film and the message behind it, it didn't seem too heavy faith-based to just piggyback on LisaRaye and Eric, and not that is something that would deter me at all, but I was really attracted to the fact that there was a strong message behind it that brought me to the project, and to dive deep into something that's really going to hopefully with the audience watching it, that bring a realization, or some, like Eric said as well, to some gratitude. And if we can put some more positivity in the world, and hopefully this film can, then sign me up.
Love it. Y'all are preaching today. So we at Urban Bridges appreciate it. Thank you guys. Continued success.
Thank you.